Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we'll show you how folks in Perry County showed their appreciation to crews working around the clock to restore power to thousands of Eastern Kentuckians. And WYMT is partnering up with local organizations to help feed those struggling during the COVID-19 pandemic and after Sunday's windstorm. And we go to Frankfort, where daily COVID-19 updates have become a staple on many Kentuckians' televisions. And last night, those watching heard something a little different.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is now 6:02. My name is Lacey Roberts, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. As some Eastern Kentuckians got their power and electricity back in the past couple of days, many are still without it. And let's bring in Brandon Robinson. And I know we're hoping for some warmer temperatures. As you know, without that power electricity, it can get kind of cold at night.
Absolutely. And it got a little chilly last night. A lot of folks have been dealing with it for the last two nights, not just last night, but the last two nights before that. So hopefully a warming trend on the way, and hopefully everybody gets their power back later this morning or this week, especially in the next couple of days, even though it's going to start to warm up. Let's take a look and see what's going on this morning, and not a whole lot here as we see just a few little clouds, kind of like yesterday, similar to yesterday, but some frost possible, trying to show some moisture overnight. Not quite buying that. 28 Moorhead, Irvin this morning. That's some of the cooler spots in our region. 32 Somerset, Middlesboro, Jonesville, Jackson and Hazard. 33 Prestonsburg and Pikeville. 36 in Harlan and Wise, tied for the warm spots this morning. So a little frost starting to form across the areas with those few little clouds start to move out. So you'll need a couple extra minutes to scrape those windshields off today. But 56 is our daytime high. After that frost, we'll see sunny skies. Lacey?
Thank you, Brandon. And while most of you are probably watching us via live stream on the web or your WYMT mobile app, that is because at last check, around 15,000 Eastern Kentuckians are still without power, and WYMT's HD signal is down. And we do have crews working on that last check at that problem. Meanwhile, Perry, Letcher, and Leslie counties are at the top of the list of power outages with more than 3,000 cases per county. The Pound Mill area of Leslie County has been without power for 3 days. People there experienced incredibly strong winds, tearing down trees, power lines, and damaging houses. One man spent Tuesday taking heaters to those in need and spent yesterday helping a family repair their home.
Just Mother Nature's unpredictable, and it just, you can see they got a long road ahead of them to get this property back to where it was.
Power could be restored as late as Sunday. Crews say 95% of people should have power by then. And as crews are continuing working to restore power and electricity to thousands of Eastern Kentuckians, WYMT's Madison Pergram has more on how the city of Hazard and Perry County officials are handling it during this time.
Extending a helping hand to those helping us in our time of need.
We're asking them if there was something we could do to help with the crews that were coming in. And they called me last night and said yes. They said we're going to feed box lunches to all the crews that's in.
Local officials helping pass out meals to workers trying to restore power to Eastern Kentuckians.
And it's supposed to be around 500-600 people, I think.
Greg Spartman with Kentucky Power says they face a big task.
We have major damage. It's we're probably so far close to 100 broke poles.
But it is the little things like this that help them get closer to completing it.
As we know, the many restaurants is closed. We try to give them a good lunch.
And it seems to be a common theme.
They're excellent support. They support us, we support them.
And the community's really got together all across.
People helping people.
It's just another challenge, and it's something that we can handle.
Through the hard times that so many are experiencing. In Perry County, Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, 4 food sites are set up for these workers, 2 in Perry County and 2 in Letcher County. Now, here is a map of the latest outage in all these counties. Perry and Pike counties were the hardest hit areas. However, not in Letcher counties were impacted significantly. Those 2 counties, along with Leslie, at the last update, have more than 3,000 people without power, and around 15,000 customers still have no electricity, and some still do not have water either. And as families struggle to get by during this COVID-19 pandemic and Sunday night's windstorm, we are teaming up with God's Food Pantry for a virtual food giveaway, a virtual food pantry, as well as Appalachian Wireless and Kentucky Power are included to have a virtual food drive. It's a new way to help those in need as we practice safe social distancing and collection amid COVID-19. WYMT's Will Puckett has more.
It is a saying we use often in eastern Kentucky during times of uncertainty.
The reason we're doing it, that's what mountain folk do. That's what we do. We help our neighbors in their time of need, and that's what this region has done time and time again.
Before Sunday night's storm, we teamed up with God's Pantry Food Bank for a virtual food drive.
Right now, because of COVID-19, we're seeing across our network about a 35% increase in needs.
Those increases are mostly from people losing their jobs or being furloughed. But now, as some are still without power after Sunday's storms, this drive is that much more important.
It's daunting, the task that we need to do. And then on top of that, you have a loss of power due to a storm or a tornado or whatever the case may be.
So we step up, as we always do, to help those who need it most, with every donation through this drive coming to eastern Kentucky and the mountains only.
Every dollar counts, and every dollar is going to go help provide a meal for a child, for a senior citizen, for a family member just down the road from you.
And now, like we always do, we help our friends and neighbors.
And that was Will Puckett reporting, and the website to donate is godspantry.org/donate/WYMT. And we also have that link on our website at WYMT.com. And with some of you struggling not only from the coronavirus pandemic, but Sunday's strong windstorms, one organization is helping out across the mountains. Save the Children aims to provide the essentials for those in need and to keep food from expiring until the power comes back on. They sent water, ice, games, and other essentials to East Perry Elementary, where families could stop by and get exactly what they needed. And last night, Governor Andy Beshear announced 88 new COVID-19 cases and 7 new deaths. At least 2,291 Kentuckians have now contracted the virus. The death toll is now at 122, but most people will remember last night's news conference for something else. Throughout Governor Andy Beshear's daily COVID-19 news conferences and updates, yesterday you could hear a large group of protesters outside the state capitol, and they are calling on the governor to reopen businesses and let Kentucky get back to work. Nick Oliver was in Frankfort and explains what the group says and is responding and is reasoning for in that protest.
While Governor Andy Beshear spent time updating the state, outside a different group wanting those updates to end and Kentucky to get back to work.
So right now I'm struggling with sourcing inventory and keeping that running because everything else is shut down.
Everyone here from a different background, small business owners, members of Kentucky's furloughed population, and those who are feeling the financial impact. However, their goal was the same: send a message that Governor Andy Beshear, where they believe he needs to back down. A majority of the group says they applauded his actions at first, but it's dragging on too long.
I understand the need for caution, but I think it's gone way past, anything reasonable.
The gathering was organized and advertised on Facebook as a social distance rally. No more fear! No more fear! But that all changed when protesters learned the governor was delivering his message just on the other side of this window. That's when the group's social distancing idea was no longer to be seen. The loud chants were broadcast across the state. The governor forced to acknowledge the group.
There's some noise in the background. We do have some folks up here in Kentucky today, and everybody should be able to express their opinion that believes we should reopen Kentucky immediately right now. Folks, that would kill people.
When asking protesters if being in a crowd was a good idea, they said it's another reason they don't see eye to eye with the governor.
A lot of fresh air out here. I don't think I'm endangering anyone. And I think the governor is endangering a lot of people by not letting families work.
At the Capitol, Nick Oliver, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, state police circled the Capitol but never intervened in the protest. Pro-life group also attended in asking the governor to order abortion clinics to close.
Chilly start to the day once again this morning, and once again, just like yesterday, we have some active alerts to tell you about. Let's take a look at our alerts map, and you'll see on the most of the area a freeze warning in effect through 9 o'clock. That's the counties in the purple, and then down to the south there along the Kentucky, Virginia, Tennessee border, a frost advisory. So some frosty conditions this morning as temperatures are in the 30s for the most part. A couple of spots there like Irvin and Moorhead in the 20s right now. Headlines for today: more sunshine, but scattered rain chances will be back soon enough. But a warming trend will be on the way as we head into next week. Lacey?
Thank you, Brandon. And coming up, turmoil on the national level as the federal government continues to weigh how and when to begin reopening the country.